7-6 lead. Later in the second, Bailey from 54 yards away, and that one goes wide right also. 0 for 3 on field goals in this game for Bailey. Mike Zimmer, a little upset. Third quarter we go. Tampa's got a 17-6 lead now. Brady, Gronkowski, seen that a lot. The Bucs would miss their extra point. It's 23-6. Fourth quarter. Vikings trying to get something happening, but Cousins gets hit by Antoine Winfield. He fumbles. Loss of 8 as he regained it. Another sack. Bailey out for another field goal. He also makes an extra point. He's missed 7 kicks in the last 2 weeks and missed 3 in the first 11. Bucs hang on to win at 26-14 was the final. Afterwards, Dan Graziano getting some reaction.
Ronald Jones after the Bucs victory over the Vikings. What was the key for you guys to get going after a slow start?
Yeah, I say coach just sticking with the run game, keeping the balance. You know, we got down early, but we was able to, great stops by defense and able to fight back. So I think that was the difference.
Rojo ran really, really well, especially that last drive. And we wanted to set up some play action. Didn't hit it as many as we hoped. But, you know, that when asked early this week about our identity, I think we just showed our identity. We can do any damn thing we want to do.
We win as a team. We lose as a team. And this league will test you no matter what position you play. And, you know, it's one day. Dan's done so many great things for us this season and made a lot of big-time kicks, and through his career made so many big-time kicks. So, you know, you don't ever want to make a bigger deal out of one day than it needs to be.
If you guys want me to fire guys for making a mistake here, a mistake there, then we wouldn't have any players. Okay, so let's not put this all on Dan Bailey.
All right, Tom Brady pressured a season low 2 times Sunday, and he didn't take a sack for the 5th time this season. That continued a trend for the Bucs, who've won when they've kept Brady upright. In their 8 wins, Brady's been pressured 13% of the time. In their 5 losses, though, those pressures come twice as often. Rob, Brady did not get to 200 yards passing, but he did have 2 touchdowns, no picks in this game. What did you see as his key to success today?
A clean pocket. You know, he was able to evaluate the field. The offensive line did a great job, this being the lowest amount of pressures this season with only 2 pressures. And I want you just to watch the first deep pass that he had here. I mean, when you have almost 4 seconds to evaluate the field and go deep down the field, your offensive line is doing a great job. And we've seen it. And just like that stat before I started talking here, if you're pressured 13% of the times and you win those games and basically double that to almost 30% in your losses, then that is pretty much the biggest issue for Tampa. If they can continue to protect Tom Brady, give him the time that he needs to evaluate the field, throw the ball down the field, because he can still make every single throw that you want a quarterback to make. He can still get the deep ball down the field. He still has accuracy. But just like in the Bears game when he's rolling his eyes at Mac because he's been hit a million times, any quarterback that's on his back has a hard time throwing the ball with accuracy. So for Tampa to have success and get into the playoffs and go deep into the playoffs, they need to protect Tom Brady, the 43-year-old quarterback. He can't be getting hit. So it's clear. You can see it.
Yeah, and that's what was so key when Brady was in New England. The protection he got so often in games, especially in playoff games, he was able to pick apart defenses. Tim, coming into this matchup, you thought the Bucs and Vikings were pretty evenly matched. What was the difference today, though?
Well, listen, I do think they're evenly matched, and I think in many respects the Minnesota Vikings outplayed them. And, you know, Mike Zimmer can talk about, hey, you know, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You're not going to fire guys for every mistake they made. But listen, their kicker let them down today, plain and simple. Look, it's not fun to come on here and say it, but when you look at the missed opportunities, you're talking about 9 points. 10 points, because he missed an extra point as well. And then when you combine that with the pass interference penalty that we saw at the end of the first half, which really was kind of a ridiculous call that led to 3 points for, Tampa Bay. Look, that's the difference in a football game where Minnesota, outrushes Tampa Bay. They run 76 plays to Tampa Bay's 49. They basically double them up in terms of time of possession. 39 minutes for Minnesota to just 21 minutes for Tampa Bay. They outplayed them. They played better than them. They just didn't score more points, which is how you win the football game. Right. And, in many respects, it's because the kicker let them down, and they had one bad call at the end of the half. So, look, when you have, I guess for me, I look at this. I don't look at this as, hey, Tampa's back on track. That's not what I saw. I saw two evenly matched teams. Minnesota, in many respects, gets the better of them. They just kind of have too many, miscues in the kicking game for them to win the football game.
Yeah, if you're Minnesota, you probably come out of this game feeling as if you gave it to the Buccaneers more than Tampa Bay won it from you. Let's go to the NFC East because we saw the Eagles win a game there earlier. Washington taking on San Francisco. And again, someone's going to win this division, right? So it's just a matter of who's going to be good enough or mediocre enough to win it. Jeff Wilson Jr. takes the handoff there. Niners take a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. We go to the second. It's a 7-6 game now. Nick Mullins drops back. Darren Payne would force the fumble. And here comes Chase Young picking it up. And he is gone. What a ball game he had. Former standout from Ohio State, getting it done in his rookie campaign. Washington takes a 13-7 lead. Late in the third, Niners down 16-7 now. Mullins and Cameron Curl says, I'll take that and raise you 6. 76 yards for the return. Washington leads it 23-7. 2 minutes to go in the game, though. It's 3rd and 2 for the Niners. They're down 23-15. Mullins. Kendrick Bourne. Big play there to pick up a lot of yards and the first down before going out of bounds. However, holding brings it back 10 yards. All right, so after an incomplete pass, it's 3rd and 12. Now 4th and 12. Mullins throws to Bourne. He's short of the first down, and that's how Washington hangs on to win it. 23-15 was the final. So with Washington improving to 6-7, here's what the NFC playoff picture looks like right now. The Packers, with that win in Detroit, they clinch the NFC North. Again, the Saints had a chance to do that in the South, but they had that loss to the Eagles. Washington at 6-7, still leading the East. And there you see the wild card situation with the Seahawks, Bucs, and Cardinals in position as we speak. All right, so when you look at the NFC right now, Tim, let me ask you this. As it stands right now, what you saw today, who's the best team in the NFC?
Did I have to see them play today?
Something.
Listen, look, the Rams, I've been impressed with the Rams. I look at the Saints. I think they're going to be a different team, than we saw today with Breeze as their quarterback. When Aaron Rodgers is right, that team is hard to beat, especially because they do have playmakers on their defense. But look, there's no clarity in the NFC. There is not. And so I think that if you're to say, who's the best team, I would probably at this point say Green Bay. But, I wouldn't say it with a ton of confidence.
Rob, what about you? What do you make of this NFC playoff picture as it stands right now?
Yeah, I agree with Tim. Right now, the NFC is kind of just a modge podge, different teams that you really don't know. There's not a clear cut. This is the best team. So for me, Aaron Rodgers is somebody that I feel is the best. He is the best quarterback in the NFC. So you have to go with Aaron Rodgers at this point. The things that he's able to do this year, being motivated, that defense is playing better. If they could continue.